Hey guys, welcome back to my colourful country life. Today I have a new book to show you. The lovely Evelyne Vancoetsem has very kindly sent me her new book, Rose and Her Friends 2, a grayscale colouring book. Now, if you haven't seen the first Rose and Her Friends book, I will link my flip through and review up above. Now, I absolutely love Evelyne's style, so I've been looking forward to seeing what she's created this time around in the second edition of Rose and Her Friends. And let's see what kind of friends we have incorporated into this book as well. Now, the book is 8.5 by 11 inches in size, which is the same as her previous two books, and it contains 20 original drawings. Now, look at this puppy. It looks like a King Charles Cavalier to me, and my little puppy, I say puppy, but he's just turned one. He just turned one this month. He's a cross between a King Charles Cavalier and a Boston Terrier. And my parents have a Cavoodle, which is a Cavalier cross with a poodle. They are the sweetest little dogs. Now let's flip to the back. And on the back here, we have our first glimpse of some of the colouring pages inside the book, with some coloured images here as well for inspiration. Now, Evelyne's animal drawings are so realistic, they're so lifelike, but her people, her characters are so adorable. And I said this in my review of her first book, Rose and Her Friends, the first edition, but her style of drawing faces is very reminiscent of the Emmanuel Collins Coleridge Wild style with the cherubic little faces, and incorporate them with these beautiful realistic animals. The images are just really sweet. So let's open it up. Now, I've had a quick flip through and I have started colouring one page, but I haven't had a really good look yet. So let's have a look. Now, we have the title page here, and the image matches the one on the front cover. And also the book belongs to page, the same image from the front cover and the title page as well. Now, Evelyne incorporates the smaller images from her book belongs to page inside her book as a large image, so you'll have two of these ones to colour inside the book. Look at these itty bitty paws. So sweet. So now we have a few coloured examples if you need some inspiration or some colour palette ideas. Now these are all images from inside the book, and you can actually recreate this background actually using a washi tape before the border. Look at this guy. So this is James, I think. We're going to be calling him James. He looks like a cowboy in training here. But I wonder what happened to the rest of the cow. Interesting colours on him as well. We've got some pinks, some purples, some blues through his fur to make up that white. So white isn't always, or isn't ever just white. It always incorporates some shades. So interesting that we've got the pinks, the blues, bit of purple, bit of cream in there to make up the white fur. I think he'd be really fun to colour and recreate actually. I don't recall many books with boys as subjects. Here is our sweet little puppy friend again. Now this one looks fun, very tropical. The cloudy background would also be really easy to recreate using some distress ink or some pastels. Use your cloud stencil. That one would be really pretty. Look at her, she's so sweet. Look at her beautiful big eyes. That's one thing I love about Evelyne's illustrations. Her characters have these beautiful big features, so that makes them a little bit easy to colour, especially if you don't colour portraits that often. We've got the grayscale, which allows you to work out where to put your darker colours, and then the bigger features to help practice how to colour eyes, lips, all those sort of things. Now, this background here, I don't think would be so easy to recreate. Actually, any stampers out there, any card makers, if you have a stamp and maybe some distress inks, or you get your water-based markers and rub them on the stamps and then press it onto the background, you could make something similar to this, I think. I love the way she's coloured the eyes as well. So you can see small hints of pink in there. And the pink comes from, her lips, her cheekbones, and through her skin colours as well. We've even got some of the pinks on the sunflowers or daisies, whatever kind of flowers they are. I don't know my flowers. We all know that by now. But she's incorporated the pinks throughout. And I did notice that on one of the earlier pictures, actually. You can see... which one was it? This one. You can see hints of aqua and lavender through the eyes. So if you need more practice colouring eyes, you can have a look at here and you can kind of Like if you're using Prismacolors, if I use that for example, we've got some light aqua, some lavender, indigo blues, cobalt blue hues. You can sort of pick out the different colours to be able to recreate it yourself. Now this one is giving Wednesday Addams vibes. So this one would be good for Halloween, I think. It's more cute rather than creepy, if you ask me. And look, we've got little bats on her hair ties as well as a little bat on her head. This bat's got a beautiful sparkly jewel necklace as well, and these beautiful long eyelashes. Looks like she's got some jewels in her wings as well. Okay, and now we have some tips before we start. Now, there's no mention of watercolour here at all, but the Amazon listing says the paper is not suitable for watercolour. However, I am colouring a page in this book and I am using watercolour pencils. I'm using my Albrecht Dürers, and I'm having no issues. I don't use that much water. I am using my trusty water brush here, my Arteza water brush, and I haven't had any issues with too much water. But I'll show you that page as we come to it. Now, speaking of the paper, it is listed as 100 GSM. It is Amazon paper, but it's the better quality Amazon paper, and it is quite smooth to touch, and it's quite thin. Now, the pages are single-sided as well with a black backing, so you can use your markers in this book. Just pop some paper in between to protect the page behind. Look at this page. Looks like a little fox. It's wrapped around her head here. I can see this. We've got a little poinsettia here, some snowflakes. It's a very wintry scene, but I'm seeing lots of reds and oranges. So I'm picturing a little fox with his little orange fur, and even the little girl with some red hair, ginger hair, and then this little red poinsettia. Maybe a green sweater down here as well, and some green eyes. This one looks nice and bright and colourful. We've got this big fruit basket sitting on top of her head, which is situated inside her little headscarf here. The bird and the bees coming over to have a taste of the fruit. And again, the fruit is drawn really realistically. The shading's always already put there for us. Here is James and his cow again, little mouse down here too. There's beautiful big eyes to colour. This one's cute. Now, if you remember, I did a colour along from Rose and Her Friends, the first book, and it was a little girl holding a teddy bear. It was the little girl from behind, so it was her hair, the back of her hair, and her hugging her teddy bear. That was really cute. We've got some love hearts here as well, so I'm thinking reds, oranges, yellows, or maybe some reds and pinks for this page. Okay, now Evelyne does do some landscape pictures in her books. I'll just flip you all sideways. Now this elephant, how realistic does he look with all his little wrinkles here? And he has this sort of mandala pattern in his ear. If I lift it up, it's like he's had a mandala tattoo in his ear. Now it is white, and I think if I was to colour this page, I'd colour the elephant with the greys. I'd use more of a bluey grey, like a cool grey, and I would leave the mandala pattern white. I think it would really make it stand out rather than colouring it. And we have both our little girl and our elephant have matching little headdresses on here as well. She's got a little nose ring which looks like it matches with her earring. And here is this sweet girl from the very front of the book. Now, I picture this with yellows, oranges, reds, greens even. Beautiful spring page. That's what comes to mind when I look at that one. Now, this page here, I almost coloured this first. I am an avid book reader and the stack of books just drew me right in. But just so sweet. And his little glasses here, they're just really cute. Look at this cat. It's got its little paw wrapped around as he's giving him a little hug. It's just really sweet. Now, as I mentioned before, with the grayscale, we have sort of the fur pre-built in, even with the hair, the strokes. So normally when you're colouring fur or hair, you're sort of using a flicking motion to create these strands, these strokes with your fur and your hair. Now Evelyne has already put that in for us. So when you're colouring the fur and the hair, you can colour it as normal with the flicking motions. If that's not something that you're used to and you're new to colouring fur or hair, you can just colour it with a normal straight blend and it will still look fine because it is grayscale and those lines are already there for you. So don't be intimidated by the fur and the hair. If you need to do just a normal blend, do the normal blend and it's still going to look really good. This one's cute, very summery. Got little rubber duckies. I don't know about this circle in the background, so I'm picturing like yellows because of all these ducks, obviously. Maybe some red on her swimwear. I don't know what this background's meant to be. A sun? Is it a sun maybe? Oh, you know what I think I would do is colour it blue, like a sunny sky. Just inside the circle, just some blue clouds, making a nice bright sunny sky. You could even do like the sky going down to the water, just inside that circle, and then leave all outside the circle blank. Another landscape page. Look at the detail in this. This is really pretty. And our cheetah, I think it's a cheetah, her freckles on her face matches the spots from the cheetah. And this is the page I started to colour. So like I said, I've been using my Albric Duras for this page. I've been using them wet and dry, and I am doing this as a colour along, so it will eventually be up on the channel. I just got to try and decide. I'm really considering leaving her top white. So clearly I won't just leave it as it is. I'll add in some shadows, maybe some greys, or even maybe a little bit of soft pink. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think the white actually suits it. Otherwise, I think I'd have to go bright and bold. Let me know what you think, what colour you think would look good for her shirt. So yeah, it is, so you can see it's warped a little bit. And I'll show you the other side too, so you can see it has warped a little bit. I haven't used too much water, but I mean, that can flatten out really easily. So, and those pencils work really well in this book. I've also used Prismacolors in Evelyne's books, and I think I've used polychromos as well. I know the Prismacolors worked really well on that teddy bear page. Did I use polychromos in the other book? What was her other book called? It was with animals. Is it listed back here? Yeah, Sweet Critters World. I can't remember. I think I used polychromos for that page. They are all up on the channel under the playlist for Evelyne Vancoetsem if you are interested in looking for those colour alongs. So hopefully I'll finish this one soon. But let me know what you think for the colour of the shirt. I think if I leave it white, I'll just do like a soft pastel background maybe, just so it stands out a little bit more. This one would be fun to colour. Here's our Wednesday Addams here, our Halloween page. Now this one is beautiful. This is like a little fairy goddess, isn't it? We've got the moon, those beautiful flowers. She's got some tattoos on her. A little flower in her ear, is it earring? Some more tattoos on her arm as well. Is that, oh, I think that's part of her outfit, part of her dress. That'll be a really fun one to colour. Some nice fairy wings. This one I picture very colourful, maybe some pastel colours. We've got all these sweets in her hair, an ice cream cone. This one looks fun. She's got a little tattoo on her as well. It's giving me beachy vibes as well. I think we make it nice and colourful, but using pastel colours and like a nice cloudy sky, like a blue sky with clouds. Not cloudy as in not sunny, if that makes any sense at all. I'm looking outside at the rain as I speak. This one will also be really fun to colour with the beautiful colourful birds as well. This one, and I love the hair too. This one might be next on the list to colour from this book. This one's quite fun. She's got a ship on the top of her hair with this massive feather coming out as well. Lots going on here. And her dress, you could practice colouring some lace for her dress as well. And here is the big version of our sweet little puppy friend. Those paws get me every time I see it. Something about a puppy's paws. This one's good. I actually like how there's a border on this one. I really like that there's already a border on it. I like pictures that if they don't take up the entire page, that they have a border that sort of blocks it off. So it should be fun to colour. I'm thinking reds and blues for this page. And this looks like it might be rose. I don't know if we saw rose in the... Well, I'm sure we saw rose, but for it to actually be pointed out, this is rose. So we've got James and now we've got Rose. She doesn't seem to have any friends in this picture though. A couple of bees and a dragonfly. Or a bee, a wasp and a dragonfly, I think. Okay, we've got a colour palette test page. So this is actually our little puppy again. So there's 3 different colouring options for this puppy page in the book. Now this one I was testing my Inktense because I was thinking maybe I can use some Inktense in this book. But so this side here is Inktense and this side is my Albrecht Dürers. And I think the Albrecht Dürers lay down just that bit better than the Inktense. The Inktense has a bit of a pebbly look to it. It's not really as smooth on this paper. So I went with the Albrecht Dürers instead. So just be mindful if you do think of using Inktense. I don't think that they're going to sit so nicely in this book. But yeah, so we have Rose again for our colour palette test page. Why can't I say that today? Colour palette test page. Okay, and these are all of Evelyne's colouring books. Rose and Her Friends, the first one, and the second one, and then A Sweet Critter's World. So Rose and Her Friends 1 and 2 are purely grayscale. The whole thing is grayscale. With A Sweet Critter's World, the only portions of the page were grayscale and other portions were line art as well. So just letting you know, it does say grayscale colouring book, but some parts of the images aren't actually fully grayscale. And then here is our wonderful artist, Evelyne, and some information about her and where you can find her. And when you colour, use the hashtag on Instagram here. And that is it. Now, the one thing I didn't tell you was the price. That could be handy. So this is currently available on Amazon Australia for $26.40, and you should be able to find it on Amazon, an Amazon near you, and I think it was Etsy as well, if I recall correctly. Etsy shop, yeah. So if you can't find it on Amazon near you, have a look at Evelyne's Etsy shop. I wonder if she sells PDFs on there. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to have a look and let you know if she sells them as PDFs as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the book down below. Let me know what colour you think I should be colouring this girl's, where is she? This girl's shirt or blouse. There she is. And let me know what other page you'd like to see as a colour along, and if there's any particular mediums you'd like me to try out for you in this book as well. Also let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.